It's Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Today in Putnam County. I'm Shan Stout with the Cookeville Putnam County Visitors Bureau, and you're going to want to hang around because the next half hour, I'm going to introduce you to not one, but two wonderful people, and they might have a service that you need. I'd like to introduce Andrew and Kelly Loftus. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Now, you are with House of KNA, and we're going to unpack everything that means. And for any of our listening and viewing audience, you need to know that this is an amazing, innovative, one-of-a-kind company here in Putnam County. So, Andrew, first off, I've known you now for a couple of years, so it's been a long journey for us, and the Visitors Bureau has been able to become a client of yours. So we are very, very we're in the weeds now with the business.
Sure.
We are really, really interactive with you guys, and I have such respect because what you have to offer, you created. So let's talk about what is House of KNA. You have already branched out into different parts of your business. So first describe your origin story. Now you started here in Cookeville. So let's talk about your education, how you decided this was your passion, and then what it is you're doing.
So we started this company 3 years ago. And it started with Kelly wanted to do interior design. I was big on gaming. I just came back from airframe power plant, so I went to school in Arkansas. I lived here my whole life, went to Arkansas for a very short period of time, got my AMP training, came back here, so I learned a lot of like AutoCAD, 3D modeling stuff, and then I met her, fell in love instantaneously, and she mentioned interior design, so I was like, I have an idea. I wanted to try the 3D stuff with the interior design because I was watching like Chip and Joanna Gaines, all these people like do it to some form, and I was like, I think we could do much better. So let's try it out. So we did, and it worked great. So we did a lot of interior design stuff. I started 3D modeling houses, floor plans and everything, and we can get into the branch off, but after that it turned into like what we're doing for the convention center right now is interactive. It's not just like images or videos. You can actually interact with the property. It'll move, it'll do like section cuts for the floor plans. You can see everything in it, but like you can kind of tell some of the stuff we've done.
Yeah, I mean, it was so simple as I had a dream, and he was like, how can we make your dream come true? And
what a man. That is so nice.
I know.
You're an inspiration, Kelly. I mean, you inspired him. You were his muse.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Well, I was like, how can we make this easier? And so him loving video games at the time really like dug into how we could incorporate that into interior design. And so that's how we came up with 3D modeling. So it kind of created it to where we can look at tiling, chairs, like any furniture, anything like that, wall colors, to where you can see it before we've even touched your space or even built a home.
Let's unpack this for our audience. Now, understand we are talking in this part of your business. Let's start with the first platform, the original platform of your business for homeowners that are looking to build a home and say you guys can even model to show what the house looks like from the outside, but then you can walk through the home, and Kelly, that's where your magic comes in because you can see, and let me say, because I've seen so many of these models that you've done, I wish that I would have done this. I mean, I've built multiple houses, and you always make some terrible mistake that you think is brilliant at the time, and then the tile goes down, or the carpet goes down, or and the trim, and you go, oh, that did not turn out the way I thought it was going to.
It's the worst feeling in the world.
Yes, you've invested all this money and time. You want it to be perfect, and then you're disappointed, and you're like, either you have two choices. Live with it or rip it out. And both of those are terrible choices. And so, Kelly, I love the fact that you've taken your passion of interior design, but for people who aren't visual people, some people, they can't imagine, or even, I have a really good imagination, but I've made some serious mistakes when it comes to design, and you go, ooh, woulda, coulda, shoulda, if I had only known. But you take the guesswork out of that. So let's talk about what it's like when you're working with a client. They come in. What do they do? What's step one?
Well, step one is we usually will sit down, look at their style, and then from there kind of create several different modifications of mood boards. We'll hone in, find what they like, and that's where we start. And we always 3D model before we touch anything. It's so important to do that, just like you're saying. Whenever you spend and invest all this money into something that you think is going to be great, and it doesn't end up working like that, it kind of breaks your heart. Because you don't want to waste all that money. But that is why we do what we do, is to avoid the money that's spent that we don't want it to go to that specific area. But
and we've had a lot of people, which is a good thing. We have to remind people it's a very good thing when they get the exterior, not only the interior, but we get the exterior of the house and we show them and they go, oh my gosh, no, that is not at all what I wanted. Even though they spent the last year and a half making plans, they were like, this is going to be perfect. We put it up and they go, no.
Well, and I'm going to give you an example that I noticed. You know, Andrew, I was looking, you showed me the exterior of a house, and say someone chose like a sage green, and they're just in love with it, and then you show them what that looks like on a sunny day. Then you show them what it looks like on a cloudy day. You have the ability to change the weather, and that was to me a piece that people don't think about, because choosing paint color for exterior, it is so important when you put sun into play.
Oh, it dramatically changes.
Yes, because sometimes people go, I want a white house, and you just put bright white on there and the sun hits it, and it becomes a driving hazard to drive past because it's so bright. It literally will blind you to look at, and it's not pleasant. You have to, and so people then would choose, what they call farmhouse white. They're choosing the creamier whites. The sun hits it, and it looks bright white.
For sure,
but it's not killing you. Your retinas are not burning.
Absolutely.
So I found that fascinating. That's a piece that you are offering, is the climate and how that affects where you are. And, having a house that faces full sun all day versus having trees that maybe block your house, seeing what it looks like in the shade. So that to me was innovative in and of itself. So we're talking about now, people who are wanting to, design either the exterior, interior, both, the whole thing from start to finish. So you started that project, and that's been very successful. People love it. How could they not love it? It is a service we never knew we needed, right?
Honestly.
And it's now available right here. But Cookeville is not your only clients. Putnam County is not your only clients. You're pretty broad reaching.
Yeah, we're expanding out quite a bit. We have gotten a much further reach because the technology, a lot of the stuff, like you said originally, is stuff that we kind of created ourselves. So we used a gaming engine. We built this all from scratch. AI has obviously advanced that quite a bit now, but we've had people like Deloitte in New York. They're building a brand new skyscraper, basically, in Hudson Yards. And they reached out to us. We're doing their boardroom. It's like a multiplayer interactive, so all their board members can basically all sit in the boardroom together and sit down, see what the sun's going to look like. They wanted to know if it was going to hit the screens in the boardroom or not, or whether people are going to get blinded by the sun. So we're able to sit them in this spatially exact to where it would be in Hudson Yards. So the sun's showing you on what specific day, like the winter solstice. They're like, I want to be able to see how far that sun's going to come in and hit that, hit this wall,
which
hit that
is a
video
very
wall.
big deal.
Yeah, for
people
them,
do not
for sure.
think about how the arc of the sun and your facility matters. But I have worked in several businesses where the sun come 3:30 in the afternoon is shooting you straight in the face.
Like, man, I wish I would have knew.
And heating up your building. Like you are burning up and you're getting a sunburn all at the same time. It can be a miserable experience. So it's important to know with that design, where you're situated, north, south, east, west facing, whatever. And, are you prepared to deal with that? Like, are your windows in the right space? Do they need to be tinted? All of those things. So I have enjoyed watching your journey.
Thank you.
You keep growing, and like you said, you've only been around 3 years in business, but you really act like you've been around for about 15 years. I mean, like that's the
I
growth
feel like
rate.
it. I'll say that.
Now, for the moms out there that are concerned about their kids who are, gamers, this may give you hope. Because had you not had all that gaming platform experience of building games, you would not have been able to do this. So that technology brain of yours that you were using in a fun creative outlet, which my sons are the same way. and pretty much every male in my family are all computer driven for their careers.
Yeah.
It can really take you places. It's important. And sometimes learning in that fun space where your brain is enjoying the journey.
Doesn't feel like work. Yeah.
It prepared you for this because this is a serious amount of programming that you're doing. And you're developing and redeveloping and fine tuning
Constantly.
So let's talk about Pixel.
Yeah, that's exciting. Pixel is less about the space design, and it's more about the spatial awareness. So I would say it's more like digital twin, which is where you take, like we did for the convention center, you have all the property and you have one building, but none of the rest of the development is finished yet. We can go ahead and show what the development will be and go ahead and show you full, like interactive. You can click on the buildings, it'll take you into the buildings, all that sort of stuff. You also have things like for campuses, you can go scan the entire campus. We have these LiDAR scanners that you can go walk basically the roads. You can walk the inside of the buildings. You can fly a drone over top of it, and it gives you full scans of every door, every window, every road, everything. And instead of it just feeling like a drone shot, you can click it, you can walk the roads, you can go in the buildings, you can type in a room, and it will fly over to where that room's at and show you exactly where it's at. So that's what we're trying to get with Pixel. Pixel is going to be more of a, like I was saying, like a wayfinding. We want to do state parks, amusement parks. I would love to get into real estate. So I think places around here we're very on the beginning of that. Obviously, just getting to start working with you guys, and it's advancing every day. Technology is advancing every day, so we're getting to where we could go do dozens of properties a week because like the scan capabilities are getting like crazy, and it's really exciting. So we're building that company up, and that's very fresh. So we're excited about that.
And if you know Andrew, he's not the type to make something and let it fly. He's always creating and going on top. How can I make this better? What can I do? Like I told him the other day, we walk in somewhere and he's immediately, if they did this, I bet it would be better. And I was like,
I can't help it. I constantly do that. Yeah.
He is. He's always trying to make something greater.
So let's talk about your side of this process because this is more in the commercial spaces of things. Are you going to, or have you already evolved your skills to do commercial design of interior spaces?
Well, right now he's been working with a lot of bigger designers, especially going into New York with Deloitte. I'm sitting back, but there are some moments where they give him a blank slate, and he'll be like, "Hey, Kelly, can you help me with this?"
Yeah, I can't do that stuff. I can't do the spatial design stuff. You're incredible at that. Yeah.
I'm the communicator between the other designer and him.
Like, what are they saying here? They're telling me to do this stuff, but I just want to like make it 3D and cool. She's like, no. You need to do this, this, and this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Kelly's the translator.
100%.
So.
Pretty much.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I want to, right before we go to break, I want to talk about the fact, people, if right now, I would hate for someone to be listening and they miss the next half of the interview. So first off, how can we get in touch with you? If one of our listeners goes, oh my gosh, that is something that I need, that's something I'm interested in, how do they find you?
Yeah, so 2 avenues. House of KNA, so if you're looking for exterior, like interactive to where you can change the materials on your house, or you're looking for just renderings or floor plans, stuff like that, that
mainly
would be House of KNA. Yeah, mainly residential side. Basically anything under $1 million. If it's a home, that's House of KNA, and that's House of K for Kelly, N-A for Andrew, .co, so .co. You can get on the contact page there, look at our pricing, stuff like that. If you are real estate development, commercial development, anything like that, and you find interest in larger scale properties or interactive properties, if you're a campus and you're looking for better mapping of your facilities, or if you're even government and you're looking for better mapping of your facilities, that would be Pixel, and that's Pixl, pixeldisplay.com.
Well, when we come back, you are listening to Today in Putnam County, and we are talking to House of KNA and their other company, Pixel, that we're just getting into. And you're going to hear about the great innovative things they're doing right here for the Putnam County Convention Center and future projects that they have in store. So don't go away, and we'll see you after the break.
We're back with Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm Shan Stout, and I am here with House of KNA. If you're just now joining us, you do not want to miss this next portion of our last part of the interview, and we are here with Andrew and Kelly. Andrew and Kelly, now you guys are co-owner,
Yep.
co-founder, co-everything, and you're married.
Yes, we are.
So all the co's. We in our earlier part of the interview, we were talking about how you can do 3D modeling for people who are starting to build a home, interior design to see what that looks like, finishes, color, exterior, all of those things. So we've got that client, but I want to talk about the new client that you have on the block, and that's me. The Putnam County Convention Center, when we first last year saw what you guys were capable of doing within the interior of a home, and the fact that for our viewers and listeners, understand that their software, you can click through the space, see it in real time, and using your eyes to see, what it looks like. And we were like, well, could you do this with not only our convention center, but our future expo center, so that we can, we're booking now for the expo center that has not been completed. So understand that we have clients that were flying in from California looking at an empty plot of land and us standing in the mud explaining, well, it's going to be 70,000 square feet. It's basically like a big empty Walmart. And here's where the office is going to be, and it's going to have this. And I'm like, I could have sent this in an email. Like, this would have been a lot better than standing in this empty plot of ground. And then, of course, the convention center is there, but we don't want people to fly out from other states just to see it, when they would be able to tour it online. And it wasn't really translating. We came in originally with drones and with a video, and we were, mapping out the spaces, but we couldn't really show it in action, because when it is in action, it's in action. So like we're we could just, people were in the way. There's just a lot of barriers there. So when we came to you, we explained, here's our situation. We need a marketing tool for the convention center to show what it looks like in different situations, whether it's a dining banquet or whether it is a concert with the theater seating, classroom style, whatever's going on, you can show that. But you can also pull back out, show all the parking, show the fairgrounds around it. So it can become an aerial view. I mean, it's like you're not just standing on the ground looking at this land. You're rising above it to see the facility. So when we're recruiting festivals and large-scale events and massive national car shows, they can now take this tool and pull out and look and see all of the things that we offer, all the assets. But then there's the Expo Center, which again, still a giant piece of land.
Massive, yes.
And nothing there yet. But we have booked it all the way through 2028, which makes me very nervous. Let's just clarify.
That's okay. We'll get it booked.
I've been booking the air. But thanks to you, our clients are no longer just having to guess or look at a blueprint. They're able to see what their event would look like, and they can literally walk through the Expo Center and understand the expanse of it all, understand the features of it all. So talk about that journey, because that was, I know you're up for a challenge, and you're like, hey, we'll play ball. Let's just talk about it. So I came to you with this wild idea, and you apparently love wild ideas.
Yes, very much so. I mean, I think that's one of my favorite parts about it, is because it's not something that people do a lot. You get a lot of these softwares and these softwares are how I got here. So I'm not saying they're bad softwares; they're fantastic. You have softwares where you can walk around, or you have a rendering that's half a mile away and it's a big picture of the whole thing. They both work good, but I wanted to merge it and not feel like you're just going through a gallery, because you don't really feel like it's there. I like it when it's a live, like we have people walking around. Very soon we're going to have a Ferris wheel riding in the background. You look over and there's people sitting in an amphitheater. When it goes over to the convention center, it doesn't just show the convention center. Like you said, it cuts the floor. You go over the top and you see a full scale. You're not just seeing a picture, you're seeing a full scale of every table in there. People walking around, people talking at the tables.
Well, I expect a little curly red-headed tourism director.
Oh, we're going to get it. Standing on a stage. Welcome, yeah. We're going to do it all. We got home shows in there. We've worked with the home show already. Like, it just helps to be spatially aware of what's going on, past just seeing like if you see a point of view picture from the corner of the room, you have no idea how big that room is.
No.
But once
And how tall the ceilings are, all of those things that we get questions
You're like,
for.
I think that's 15. It could be a 25-foot set. I have no idea. But once you start putting people walking back and forth, not just
scale.
images. Yeah, you want the scale in there.
Matters.
You want to be able to feel it. You want to be able to see that when you zoom out, like you said, we have both parking lots, all the lighting. So at night, you can see what it looks like at night, you can see what it looks like at day. I can show you what it looks like when it's raining. So we can do all that stuff.
Snow.
Yeah, I did do snow.
Snow.
Yeah. So that's the fun part. And we want to be able to expand on that and help people really understand the property before it's built. Before, like you said, people from California spending tens of thousands of dollars to get down here and have to walk through mud. I'm like, hey, this is what it's going to be. You don't have to come down here. And then we can elaborate on it. If there's, I know I talked with some of your team last week about putting like on all these dance moms are having to drive all the way to Nashville, all the way to Chattanooga. We're going to show what it looks like for that. Maybe pull some of those people in. So any involvement with any other kinds of people that are interested in seeing what their product would look like in that, we can.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, just in case someone wonders, the return on the investment. Yeah. We've already booked 3 national tournaments for the Expo Center.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's because I had already previously sent them our blueprints of the diagram of the floor, the prospectus of what it's going to look like, and, a 2D rendering, right? Yeah. That's a printable image. I mean, I felt like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But the trust was not there.
They're like, I don't really know.
And then when they saw the whole thing, when they saw the convention center sitting next to the Expo Center, and it made it very real to them, and they saw the scale difference, like you said, scale matters.
Yeah.
They saw that the convention center looks like a tiny little convenience store,
and it feels massive.
In compared to the Expo Center sitting next to it, and they're like, "This is a massive building, but now it looks small." So imagine how the scale mattered, and so they're like, "Oh, wait." I think we misinterpreted the size of this facility. Like it's much bigger than we originally thought because that blueprint was just not translating. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
It's already
already
really making my job so much easier.
That's awesome.
Well, good.
And it saved. We've had 2 people that have they were determined to fly out, and I can't stand for somebody to have to fly all the way out here and just know that there's nothing to see.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to waste their money and their time.
Yeah.
And so to be able to show them, then they're like, oh, well, this was so much better, and thank you for thinking of us, to save us this money and this time. So it's been useful on all levels. Now let's talk about growth plan, because you're not sitting still. It's been 3 years, and you are riding down like a runaway train toward progress.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're growing, you're branching out. So you have some potential goals. One of those goals has to do with catering to universities and kind of be a wayfinding situation, which, my goodness, if you've ever gone to college of any scale, small universities, large universities, getting lost is the easiest thing you can excel at immediately, right? I mean, 100%. You just like, the buildings aren't always properly marked, or the sign's really small, so by the time you find it, it's there, but it didn't help you from a distance.
Half an hour later.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've got some goals. So let's use Tennessee Tech, because it's right down the road.
Yeah.
Let's use that as a potential. How would you be able to reach out to a university and sell them on this idea of a wayfinding project for them?
Of course. So I think one of the best things that has happened recently is, and it actually started with you guys because I couldn't figure out how to do it. We had...
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
My husband, I challenge him every day as well.
Good.
So.
Well, you're incredible. So a big thing that we had originally was these big displays, obviously, and we had these big PCs that were behind them, but we found a way to completely recode everything from scratch, which I do very often, and it can now be on web. So it's on the website, it works perfectly fine, and it can be on your phone. So I think that's a massive thing for, like you said, Tennessee Tech as an example. If the college students, well, one, if you're a college student there, I've lived here my entire life, and I still go to Tech, and I have no idea where I'm going. Because it's so, not because it's like
and
improperly.
They're changing. It changes constantly.
They have massive upgrades coming soon. So I think like a student being able to go on the Tech app or QR codes, and you scan it, and it will literally just show you where you're at, as if you had a drone sitting over the top of you. And it's
a 3D
hey,
model of.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm like, well, I thought this building was here, but then you click it, and it's like, no, it's actually, and shows you right over here, and it's not just a top down, so you have reference.
Yeah, it's not just a
of where you are.
GPS.
Yeah, and then if you're looking for a classroom, you can look up the classroom, and instead of just showing the building, because usually half the buildings have 80,000 classrooms in each one. Yeah, so we're able to hone in on which classroom it is. We can literally cut the building in half and show you right there. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
So I think that helps with not only students that are there, but people, maybe parents from California.
Yes.
Again, people all the way out here are not having to come in for a tour. They can go online and go, hey, look, we can see the entire state of Tennessee Tech
Yes.
all in one shot, and we can look through the classes that you're going to be taking. And here they are, here they are, here they are. And not only that, we've gotten into more of the real estate side to where you can actually look at pricing. So for something like Tennessee Tech, you have pricing of dorms. Yeah. You can see where the dorms are going to be. You can see which ones are available. So again, for people before they come in, they're able to go, here's my dorm. Here's where my classes are going to be. I can see not only like a Google map of it takes 5 minutes to walk there, but I'm seeing the corners that there's an alley right here that I did not notice was there. I have to go through here, go around, and then go up these stairs. It can just get confusing. We try to turn all that confusion into like clarity.
Well, and I would think that would relieve anxiety. You know, when you first, not only your student who first starts school, because I have 3 kids. They've all gone, one is still in college, but the other 2 have graduated. But that anxiety that young adult is feeling, there's so many new things coming at them. And if they don't have the navigational anxiety on top of everything else, and just being able, I think just being able to kind of get your bearings and know that that tool is available would really be a beneficial and productive thing for a university to offer. I know anywhere that ever has a wayfinding access of any kind, I'm like, oh, thank you, because I have enough things going on. I'm a guest lecturer at Tech all the time, and I have another thing coming up next month, and I'm like, I got to find out where I'm going.
Where's it going? Yeah.
Because by the time you park, which takes a while, you then have to figure out where you're going, and I don't want to be late. So you're like, how soon do I have to get there? And I'm just the guest speaker, so I'm not a student trying to on that first few weeks of school learn where all my classes are, and then guess what? The next semester it all changes again.
And I
so
think,
the anxiety is back.
Something that we've been trying to work on too is it's called back end, which is things where you can go into it, set things up instead of me having to do everything for you. You have a team that's available that can put like an event. So whatever you would be going in to do, they can put that on there. So when you see the event, you click it, it takes you over to it. You're not lost on it. You have a list of events, everything that's coming up on. We'll continue with Tech. If there's a football game, it'll take you over to the stadium. Even if you pick a seat, I can probably make it to where you can sit in that seat.
So this might be a collaborative opportunity working with universities where their students are learning part of what you're doing, and it would help bolster their education and provide the university with a more expansive tool. So win-win-win all the way across the board. I am your number one fan.
Thank you.
You have made me a believer from day one, and we're looking to build a house in the very near future. So I was telling Mr. Stout, I said, listen, I've got a foolproof way where we're going to make a whole lot less mistakes on this house. And
thing.
I think it's going to be a win-win. So I love all the services you offer. And if any of our listening and viewing audience is interested in the services of House of KNA, give us the way to contact you one more time.
Yeah. So if you're looking for residential things, so basically anything under $1 million, it's going to be mostly homes or small commercial. You would go to House KNA. That's where we do the floor planning, the design, the interior design, and all the 3D work for interior, exterior. So that's House of Kelly, KNA, Andrew, .co. So that would be for that avenue. For the more commercial enterprise or like spatial guidance, that would be Pixel, which is Pixl. It's pixeldisplay.com is our website. So contact us, go check us out. We have a lot of different avenues, real estate, all sorts of stuff. So you can go check us out there.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate both of you coming in today and being on the podcast. I appreciate that you are here in Putnam County, serving the residents here and beyond. And good luck with all of your endeavors, New York and across the nation. But we're just so glad that you have chosen Cookeville as your home. You are listening to Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout. And until we see you next week, enjoy the journey.
This has been Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout.